Let go of your fixation on trying to control everything. Your desperate need for trying to control everything is the root cause of your suffering and is the reason why your nervous system is probably in shambles. I watched a video yesterday and it quite literally changed me. Like, I feel like I developed new brain cells from it. And I went into some self-reflection. I was doing some reflecting and I was journaling yesterday and I wrote down some notes. So I might be reading from this, but I feel like it really resonated with me as a person who does try to control every situation, every relationship, just everything. I'm such a control freak, and I know that someone out there might be struggling and going through the same thing, and this video might help you come to sense and I don't know, just make whatever you're going through make sense, because I feel like I was really putting myself down for the way that I was reacting to certain things, but now that I understand it better, I feel like I can move on and heal through the things that I'm going through better. So first, I have my little notebook here. I feel so like, I don't know. Okay, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But first, we have to understand this need for control. Why do we feel so drawn to control, and why do we feel the need to even do it in the first place? And it's the fact that control gives us a sense of safety. It gives us this illusion that if you can control the situation and the outcome, that you're safe. You're safe from being hurt. You're safe from, being let down or being disappointed or just being hurt in general, because if you can control everything and everything goes in your way, there's nothing to scare you anymore. And our brain does this because we're in a constant state of wanting to survive. Our brain is always trying to protect us, and this is even worse when we do have traumas that kind of trigger that like fight or flight mode. And I was trying to understand why I personally was feeling this way. And for example, in a way that you could try to control a relationship, just like an example is that you could be very obsessive over who he's following, what he's liking on Instagram, the content he's watching, stuff like that, for example, right? And you're super obsessive over that. It's like if his following goes up by 1, you're checking like, who is he following? Is it a girl? Like stuff like that. It's like being very obsessive over those things because you carry some baggage from your past. You carry some insecurity from your past. Maybe it was a past partner that made you feel insecure, that you weren't the first option, or that he was always constantly looking at other girls or had wandering eyes. And in that case, it would make you feel not secure in the relationship, obviously. So even if you have gone out of that situation, you're gonna carry some of that into your new relationship. And even if your new partner is different, even if your new partner never really made you feel insecure or anything like that, you carry this kind of like survival mode that you were in to protect yourself into your new relationship. So you're gonna become obsessive with who he texts, if he has any girlfriends, who he's following. I feel like that's a very common one of like, if he follows someone new, it's like is it a girl, stuff like that, or just going through his following and like being very obsessive over it. I understand it to some extent of like not feeling comfortable with like certain girls he follows and like just communicating that and being like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with that, could you unfollow her? But being obsessive over it is a different thing, and I would know Like, I trust me, I would know. And I feel like that's really something I struggled with. But after reflecting, I realized that it's because of this hurt and this baggage and this weight that I've been carrying from my past relationship that I definitely have not healed from, because things like that, they don't just heal overnight. It takes so much time to to even acknowledge that that's the position you're in, and that you need to grow from it and to heal from it. And I've definitely have not healed from it. So going into my new relationship, I was still very insecure, and he's never made me feel insecure in any way, but I've carried what I had to go through in my past relationship into my new one. And although they're two different people, my state of mind is still in the same place, because I haven't come to that place with myself yet where I was able to heal that part of myself. So I'm going to carry that into my new relationship. So my need, my desperation, my obsession with trying to control him is because I'm so afraid of getting hurt. I'm so scared that he's gonna betray me. I'm so afraid that, I'm not the only option, and that he might cheat, or just things like that. It's like I will come up with the worst case scenario of what this man could do to hurt me. And I never understood that. And I was acting from a place of hurt. The reason why I feel insecure is because I was hurt from my past, and that made me insecure. But that insecurity needs to be healed, because this is a completely new person and a completely new situation. So I had to do a lot of reflecting and stuff to come to this point. But yeah, I realized that all it was that I was acting from a state of being in survival mode, trying to protect myself from what I went through with my past partner, and trying to control that it doesn't happen again with my new partner, because your brain is constantly trying to protect itself, even if you're doing it in a way that is self-sabotaging. And I was being like that. I was becoming a girl that I didn't even want to be or was proud of being. I don't like being that girl that's like, who are you following? Why are you following her? Why did you like this photo? I don't want to be that girl. I want to let him do whatever he wants to do. And if it's actually conflicting with my values and what I believe in, I can communicate that in a very healthy manner. But I don't want it to cause me to have this like crippling anxiety and, this feeling of, oh, he's gonna leave me, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, he's gonna leave me for someone else, or he's gonna have wandering eyes. It's like it has nothing to do with me at the end of the day, because again, guys, if a man wants to cheat, he will cheat. If a guy doesn't want you, he doesn't want you. And that's okay, because if he ends up cheating, then that is your sign, that is your proof that this man is not the man for you. Like, he is just not the one. And I needed to get this through my head, but I was going into this with so much fear, and it's human nature to try to protect ourselves from being hurt. However, the thing we have to realize is that there's irony in wanting control, because we want control because it's supposed to give us the sense of security and safety. However, all it leaves us with is anxiousness and feeling just a bunch of anxiety, because come on, if you also are a control freak, you would know what I mean, because your brain comes up with the worst case scenario. It's like that those things aren't even happening, but you're still going to be anxious about it. You're constantly overthinking of the worst case scenario, even if nothing really happened or anything like that. And you're constantly operating in a way of like, how do I not get hurt, and just not being very secure. But we need to let go. And I realized that the only way to get past this, to get through this, is to surrender. And what does that mean? To surrender means to let things flow the way that they're supposed to flow. First of all, you need to acknowledge the fact that this is a wound deep within that you have to heal on yourself. Try to understand why it is that you feel that way. What part of your past kind of made you feel this way? Maybe what does your new partner do that triggered these feelings again? Or just in any situation, even if it's not in a relationship, what is triggering these patterns of self-sabotage? Like, you think you're doing the right thing, but that's the irony in it. Like, you think that you're giving yourself safety, but all you're left with is like this obsession with trying to control the outcome. But the truth is that you can't control everything, especially people. You cannot control people. So once you get that through your head and you realize that you really can't control anyone, if they wanted to do something, they would do it, and it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. And you need to trust that whatever they do, you're gonna be okay. Maybe not in the beginning, but you're gonna be okay because you're gonna be there for yourself. For example, in a relationship, if a man were to cheat on me, I need to trust myself that I will heal after that, and that him cheating has nothing to do with my self-worth and how I view myself. It has everything to do with him. Whatever the reason is, whatever the reason for him cheating is, has everything to do with him and nothing to do with me. And if he chooses to do something like that, then that is my sign that he is not the one for me. So why would I want to stay in a relationship with a man that's not the one for me? Trust in the divine. Trust in the universe. That even if it shows you a lesson and you get super hurt from it, that is what it's meant to do to you in order for you to heal, in order for you to evolve into a new person, the highest version of yourself, so that you can learn from that hurt and become an even higher version of yourself. So trust in that. And yeah, like I was saying with surrendering, just let things go how they're supposed to go and trust that it is for the better. So for example, in my case, that would mean to let go, to just trust and let go. And I know how hard that is, especially for people with trust issues. I'm speaking to myself. But you need to just trust that whatever happens, even if the worst case scenario happens, you're gonna be okay, and that situation was not meant for you. That person was not meant for you. It's like the let them theory. Like, this is a very popular theory at the moment. Like, let them. They wanted to do something, let them. You can't control the person. So let them do what they want to do, but choose if you want to keep that person in your life or not. So, going back to the example, let them. If they wanted to cheat, let them. It shows you that that's not the type of person that you would want to spend the rest of your life with. So if anything, it hurts in the moment, but in the grand scheme of things, it's actually for the better. And yeah, I'm still working on it. This stuff does not transform overnight, but the first step is always to be aware. And I feel like after doing a lot of reflecting, I've just realized my wounds and where they came from, who cut me, and who I was bleeding onto. And although that person didn't deserve that at all, I need to learn how to clean and heal my own wounds so that I don't carry that blood into my new relationships, because I want to start new. I want to be, the highest version that I can be of myself. I want to move through life without feeling this obsession with trying to control everything that in the end all it does is make me anxious, make me worried. And yeah, and the truth is that you think you have control, but you never had control to begin with. It was never there. You never have control over other people. And there are just certain things you can't control. The only thing you can control is yourself, actually. If you think about it, the only thing you can control is your mind and yourself. You can control your mindset and the way that you go about things and how you view things. But you can't control anything in the outer world. Things are going to happen how they happen, but you can control how they're perceived and what you're going to do about it. So yeah, that's the thing about control. It's like you're a control freak, but you never had the control to begin with, you know? So you just need to learn to let go of that feeling of desperate need to control, because all that does is create that anxious anxiety and all that stuff you don't want. Because trust me, you do not want to be the girl that's obsessive over everything about that man, where he's going, who he's with, who he's following. Like, you can know those things, and like he should be telling you those things in general for just respect, but to be obsessive over it, to feel like crippling anxiety over it, to feel like you need to control who he follows, what photos he likes, stuff like that, so that you feel safe in the relationship and that you feel like, you know, that you're his only option, that he won't leave you. Trust me, you don't want to be that girl. You're wasting your energy on basically nothing. Like, on nothing. Honestly, my best advice for that would be like, sure, you can communicate what you're comfortable and uncomfortable with. I don't know how this video turned into like dating advice, but this is like, I feel like a very common example. So I'm just gonna, you know, say this. But if you're a girl who's like super obsessive over who he follows, who his exes are, even like his past, and like feeling like a lot of jealousy towards that and like what he likes and trying to control that, trust me, you do not want to be that girl. However, you have every right to voice what you're comfortable with and what your values are from the beginning. So you could be like, oh, I really value a guy who, you know, really caters his attention online through things that are actually important to him. Maybe it's a sports team, maybe it's his business, maybe whatever it is. I really value a man like that because I'm a woman like that. Like, I don't just follow like random people. Like, you could voice that, and if he goes and follows half-naked Instagram models, that is your sign he's not the one for you, girl. Like, that's literally your sign that he clearly does not share the same value as you. That's for starters. But I think it's very normal, and it should be talked about more. Like, you should be able to communicate what you're comfortable with and where you stand, what your values are. Make sure you're able to hold yourself up to that same standard. But if you are, you should be able to communicate that. If that person proves you wrong in any way, that's your sign. You have the option to choose. You have the option to leave. That you can control. You can control choosing to keep that person in your life or not. However, if that man does respect your values, share the same values even, and doesn't follow random girls, you know, maybe he follows girls but they're his friends, stuff like that, but you're still obsessive if his following count goes up, or if he's following a new girl, or who's this new girl he's following, then maybe you need to look deep within. And I would know, because I used to be that type of girl, and maybe I still am her a little bit inside, but I'm trying to change that by reflecting and by healing and by growing. But we're all working on it, okay? We all start from somewhere. But yeah, like, you don't want to be that girl, because that comes from a place of insecurity and feeling the need to control, like, oh no, don't follow this girl, don't follow this girl, don't follow this girl, if they're his friends or stuff like that. It gets to a point. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a line. There's a fine line. And like I don't want to be that girl anymore. That's why I'm on this fucking healing journey. Sorry for the profanity. But yeah, like even being obsessive over the content that he likes, if he's liking thirst traps. First of all, if your man is not making you feel secure enough that he's not liking thirst traps, girl, is he even the one? Is he even the one? But if he's not doing anything to, like, you know, make you feel like that, and you are carrying something from your past, because maybe your ex was liking a bunch of thirst traps behind your back, whatever it was, if that's something you're carrying, then that's something you need to work through and heal from. So yeah, that's what I have to say on this topic. And yeah, just been doing lots of reflecting. I just want to be the girl that just lets go. She just lets go. She trusts in the universe. She trusts in her partner, that even if he were to go and do those things, then that is her sign, that is her proof that he is not the one for her, and she can go put her energy into someone who is the one for her. Because there's so many people out there. You can't tell me that out of like billions of people on this earth, that your person is not out there. I'm a hopeless romantic. Like I really believe, you know, like there are just so many people out there. So if your current partner is doing very questionable things, trust that you're gonna be okay. Trust that you're gonna find someone who is worthy of your time and your energy and your soul. So yeah, I need to come to the terms with the fact that I need to just let go. Stop being so obsessive over who he follows, who he's looking at, who he's texting, who he's being friends with, what content he likes, stuff like that. He can do whatever he wants. Let him do whatever he wants. Let him show you who he is without you having to control it. Because you trying to control something, even if he does what you're trying to get him to do, is that really who he is? Because he's just doing what you're telling him to do. Like, you're his mother. You're not his mother. Don't mother a man. Never mother a man. Let him show you his true essence. Let him show you his true colors. What is it that this man really wants to do? That's who he is. Judge him based on that, and choose if you want to keep that kind of man in your life. Choose if that kind of man is the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with. That's all I have to say. So yeah, that's what I'm working on, but we should all just let go. Let go of the need for control. All that it exudes is desperate energy, this obsession, and it's not cute. It's not a cute look, girlies. It's really not a cute look. We need to focus on ourselves. Decenter men. Decenter men. It is not about him. It is not about him. Choose me. Pick me. Like, how can I make you choose me? How can I make you pick me out of all these girls? It is not about him. It is about you. It is about you, okay? So focus that energy on yourself. Bring back that power. Bring back that energy to yourself. Work on yourself. Feel secure in yourself. Feel that, you know, you are the highest version of yourself. So even if this person cannot meet you where you're at, you will meet another person at their highest version of themselves. And you will be fine. You will be just fine. Even if you don't meet anyone else anytime soon, you will be just fine, because you're being true to yourself and you're there for yourself. That's it. I've been ranting. I've been going on a rant with this one. This video is a bit long. But I just had a lot to say about that, because this is something that I'm currently really struggling with. But after some reflecting, it just made me feel so much better to know my weaknesses and to know what I have to do to get to my higher version. So yeah, I hope that helped. If anyone's watching. If no one's watching, then I will watch this back when I'm feeling insecure again in any new relationships that I'm in. But yeah, final message. Lose that fixation on control. It is literally the root of your suffering. You are not in control of anything or anyone other than yourself, your mindset, your body, and your soul. So, yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Have a good night. Bye, everyone.